Thank you for the invitation to be here. I know it's a difficult task for me and Carlos because we will be doing this before lunchtime, so we are in direct competition with your Hungary. So we hope we can do it quite easily. We have still a short experience using a procurement platform. So my presentation will be a little bit about the reasons why we decided to invest in a procurement platform, why we did it, when we did it. So it's a little bit around that. It's not because my boss obliged me to, but I will start to do a presentation of Fidelidade so that everyone can know what we are and what we do in our market. And also because I will use some of these insights to explain what it is procurement at the moment in Fidelidade. So we have more than 200 years of experience. We were created back in 1808. So we like to say experience instead of history. So we have lots of experience. Of course, all over these 200 years, we had lots of brands, merge, acquisitions. So what we are today is a lot of brands behind it. In 2000, I think the year 2000 was quite important in Portugal. So Mota and Gil did the merge in 2000. In the insurance market, we also start to have more consolidation in 2000. And back in 2012, there was a merge of the two big leaders in the insurance market, and Fidelidade, as a known brand, was created. And in 2013, we create our new logotype that we have since then. About our shareholders, we have CGD. It's a state-owned bank. It was our previously sole shareholder. And back in 2014, Fosun, a world-class Chinese investment company, decided to invest in Fidelidade. It was a big change for us. They are focused in the insurance area as well as the welfare. For us it was very important because it was a shift in the way we were doing business locally and also internationally. And it was very important for us also in a financial point of view. Just to talk a little bit about Fosun, Fidelidade is now part of a global insurance group. Fosun have insurance companies all over the world. I think in all the continents we have an insurance company. And this also gives us opportunities as a global group that we belong to. It's not just about insurance. As I said, they are also focused on the welfare. I just give you two names that are well known. Cirque du Soleil also belong to Fosun. Club Med also belong to Fosun. So they are very diversified in the way they do investments. Going back to Fidelidade, we have companies related to the insurance business, and then we have some service companies that also help us to serve our clients in a vertical approach that we started some years ago. For the health insurance, we have Multicare, as a market leader in that segment. For the life and non-life, we have Fidelidade. And also for a very specific niche of market, that is the online and direct insurance, we have OK Teleseguros, that is also in that niche, the market leader. Then we have a lot of service companies that help us to serve better our client, to give a package to all of them. Just to give us some examples, Luz Saúde is an healthcare player. They have at the moment in Portugal, they manage 10 private hospitals. They manage 1 public hospital. They have 7 private clinics, 2 senior care houses. So a big group. Then we have Fidelidade Assistance for the assistance services. We had Fidelidade Property as a real estate company. Car service as auto repair with 3 shops, 3 auto shops in Portugal. So this helps us to serve better, or we hope so, to serve better our clients. Just some figures. So we are one of the biggest employers in Portugal. We have more than 3,000 workers. We have 14 billion euros of assets under management at the moment. And last year we had more than 200 million as a net result, which is quite interesting. Our international approach is not new. We already started in a few countries. We are at the moment in Africa, Cabo Verde, Mozambique, Angola. We are here in Spain, we are in France, we are in Macau. So I would say that our international business started some years ago. We are market leaders. We have 30% of market share, which is interesting. We can see that the second one has half of it, 14%. This is a challenge because as market leaders we need to be always innovative. It's also a problem because we have less space to grow in the local market, and as you will see, we need to go to other markets. Market share is not enough, so just here some prizes that we won. So more important for us at market share is the recognition that our clients give us, and we have here some reputation, recognitions and prizes that we won, some this year, some in 2016 and 2015. So this is for us what matters. And just give you, this is the last slide about Fidelidade, just to give you an idea of our 2020 vision. And the two of the pillars that we are looking at the moment is to be more innovative, to be more digital in the domestic market, and at the same time to try to enlarge our business and go to international markets and to go to other countries. So we are deeply looking to that. And this will be also important to explain how procurement enter in all these pillars in all this strategy. Now looking to procurement, the procurement department was created in 2015. You might ask, with 200 years of experience in being the market leader, why to have procurement so late? We have a reason for that. As I said before, we belong to CGD, and at that time we were 100%, they had 100% of Fidelidade, and the procurement department of CGD was taking care of Fidelidade. So there was no need to have a different procurement department. After 2014, after the privatization, there was the need to create a procurement department just for Fidelidade. That's the reason why the creation of this department was so late in time. This follows a corporate approach that we have. So we are not just working for Fidelidade Insurance Company, we are working for all the companies that I showed you previously. We are working not only locally, but also internationally. So this is a corporate approach that we're having not only in procurement, we have in IT, in some other areas. And it's a bigger task, I will have to say. I have here some figures. So last year was the starting year, so it's not brilliant figures, but as I say, there is a smooth start because we start to do everything at the same time, so creating the team with the right skills, creating procedures, doing some internal marketing to put all the other departments to know that we exist and that they should use us for the procurement activities that they have. So it's an ongoing process, and I believe that 2017 will be much better and will have much better results that we had in 2016. So, talking about a procurement platform, 3 questions. Why we did it, when should be the right time to do it, and who should we involve, what's our strategy. The why, it's quite easy to explain. So, as I told you before, the company is looking to be more digital, to innovate, and the procurement cannot be away from that. So I have to confess that when I joined the company, it was quite difficult for me to go into some areas and still asking for proposals, printed proposals in paper, sending by post mail with a committee to open the proposals. And I said, no, we need to do something. So we need to go with the trend of the company. We need to be digital, and procurement need to be digital. So it's quite easy. Why? When? As soon as possible. We decided to go right now because we are quite new, so it's much more easy for us in a new team to adapt ourselves and to adapt the procedures to a new tool instead of having years of experience and need to adapt the tool to the way we work. So we decided it should be right now, we should go for it. I know it's an arguable topic. Many of you may decide it's not the best choice. We decided to go for that. Also, who should use it? We start with a very minimalist approach. So at the moment, just the procurement department is using the tool. But our idea is to enlarge. So it's to have support teams and technical teams using the tool to give their technical feedback to all the tenders. Our idea is to have also the international teams using the tool. Also the low volume acquisitions that are done not through the procurement department, but in all the other departments to be done in the tool. So we still have a lot of steps to go to the way we want to be. About the platform. Before launching the tender, we decided to do a kind of a short list. So we looked to the budget that we had, to the ideas and to the tools that exist in the market. And based on that, we decided to launch a tender for 5 suppliers. All of us know that we have several in the market, but we decided to go for 5. I have to say it was a very hard procurement process. We have 58 evaluation criteria. It had to be robust because it was the procurement team going for a procurement tool, so we need to be sure about what we were going to have. And it took us almost 5 months between demos, negotiation, all that. And basically we were looking for 4 things. To have a tool that can fit our needs. It was important that all the requests that we want could be fulfilled by the tool that we may choose. The supplier need to have a consolidated experience in Portugal because, as I told you before, we want to go to other countries, but 90% is still done in Portugal, so we want someone that can have a consolidated experience in Portugal, but at the same time, that can open the door so that we can go for international business as well. And also, here the dimension of the supplier was also important for us. It was important, and I think Vortal showed us this morning that there is an improvement roadmap, and for us it was important to be part of that improvement roadmap, so not to find the supplier so big that will be a small client without any power to share our ideas, and we want to be a big client also for that supplier. So, based on all this, we went for Vortal. Otherwise, they wouldn't be inviting me to be here. So, but I have to confess, if you ask me, was Vortal the best software? Was Vortal the best look and feel tool? Was Vortal the one that has a more robust tool to have reports? I have to say no. It was not. We have maybe not just one to be the best, but we have several other suppliers that may have better solutions as a software. But I think it's important to see that we are not just looking for a software, we are looking for a service. I want to send a tender, and I don't want to have hundreds of phone calls of the suppliers asking me questions about how to submit proposals, that they cannot log into the tool. So I want a service. I want to send a tender, I want to get the answers there, I want to analyze and not to be worried about what's happening in the back. And that, I think Vortal was quite good. So we were willing to give up some of the look and feel of the tool to have this kind of support. And I think this is really important, and this is the way that, one of the reasons why we decided to go with Vortal. Experience so far, as I said in the beginning, we are using the tool just for 2 weeks in real environment, so not a big experience. Just to have some highlights, I think the team is still struggling to get used to use the tool, which is good, so at least they are trying. We are still waiting to have some customized topics that we ask in the RFP, and Vortal is still doing that for us, so we still don't have the final feature of the tool that we need. But I have to say that we have, in 2 weeks already, 11 processes running in the platform. 6 of them are already in the market, waiting for proposals from the suppliers. 2 of them are already finalized. And at the moment, all the procurement team members are using the tool. So that's quite good, at least for me, is that they're trying, they're using. We don't have problems. So I think it's a good start. It's a good way to try to get it in people's mind. This was my presentation. It has to be short. not to occupy too much of your lunchtime. As I said, I don't have too much experience. I think now Carlos will explain to us and give us some feedback about NOS experience, and they have much more time using the platform. And thank you for the opportunity. If you have any question, please feel free to ask me. You have my email, so send me an email, and thank you for that.
Good morning to everyone. Thank you, João, for remembering me that I'm the guy between all of you and lunchtime. So I'll try to be as fast as possible. First things first, I would like to thank very much Vortal to kindly invited us to share our experience with you. We are using Vortal for more than about 1 year, and I'm going to present here some of the results. But let me start by the company that I'm representing. NOS is a media, is a communications media, content producer and distributor in Portugal. Also managing cinemas business. We are holding more than 60% of market share in cinemas business in Portugal. But we have also operations in Africa, namely in Angola and Mozambique. So, I hope there is no French people here, because we dressed our headquarters last year with our flag when we won the championship, European Championship. We are a result of a merger between two companies. One company coming from the mobile side, another company coming from the cable TV side. And this is a trend, I would say, in Europe. Let me make you a very quick quiz. How many operators do you think, telecom operators do you think, that exist right nowadays in Europe, Western Europe? Can you give me a figure?
200.
Okay, it's something in between, about 150. For a market which is about, what? 300 million people, more or less, okay? What happened? What is happening in the world? You see the United States, same size of the market. Brazil, Indonesia, Russia. Not speaking about China or India, more than 1 billion. How many operators do you think there are in each of these countries? 3, 4, usually. So, scale matters, because when we are negotiating with our suppliers, with our partners, scale matters. And our business is a very capital-intensive business. My team manages on an early basis about 1 billion contracts. So when we negotiate with the major suppliers, if you have a bigger scale, probably you get better conditions. Scale matters. This is one of the reasons why companies in Europe will merge more and more. It happened in Portugal, it happened also here in Spain, in some other places. Many things are still to come. But it's not only because of that, because we are in the market. We need to provide offers to our customers. If we are just a mobile operator, you cannot do it in a full-fledged way. So you need to join probably, or you make an acquisition or you make a merger, but you need to join with some other companies that have the right capabilities, the right kind of services in order to offer a full package of services to your customers. It's not only to get market share, it's also to increase loyalty. So market is also asking for that. But there are other things. In every merger, every acquisition process, there are synergies to obtain. So by the end of the day, our shareholders are expecting to improve the EBITDA, the return of the capitals employed. So the financials are also behind this merger trend in Europe. And the market rules. By the end of the day, we are a company that is in the market. We need to provide to our stakeholders, customers, shareholders, employees, the best opportunities, the best chances to improve their results. So by the end of the day, the market rules. Some of the people that is here know me that I like to ride bikes, Harley Davidson bikes. And every time I buy a new bike, I have getting more and more troubles in explaining to my wife why I'm doing that. Because it's not a rational stuff, it's more emotional one. But in a company, cannot be that way. We need to know why we buy, why we implement, why we go into the journey of putting a platform, an e-platform, within our company. And we need to know what are the use cases. We need to know what are the objectives. And this is an opportunity, actually, to make things better. Not only because of the processes that you can engineer, but as Rob says in the morning, it's an opportunity to work in a better way with internal customers also. So we need to work not only for the external, let's say, stakeholders, but also for the internal stakeholders. And it's a good opportunity to make some things happen. Some things that without e-procurement platform, probably it could be a little bit difficult to manage and to implement. Right. There is a saying, I'm not sure if it is a Portuguese one or not, but there is a saying that states that there is no good wind for a sailor that doesn't know where to go. So we need to know what we want to do and what are the results we want to achieve. And the ones that know this road, with the US National Road that heads to Monument Valley, knows that the road is not going straight away, straight through the Monument Valley rocks. At the end, it goes sharp right. So, and in life, many times, and in companies, this happens. We need to be flexible to adapt to some of the things that in the procurement, let's say, platform implementation, that may happen. So we need to be flexible, but at the same time, we need to be very, let's say, conscious that what is the direction we want to do. And we can choose for a smooth, like João in Fidelidade said, a smooth introduction, a smooth path, or we can do it in a different way. We can do a kind of big bang, let's say, from a certain moment in time. We just do it. We just use it for all the processes, that all the bids, all the tenders that we want to put in the market. So, but the point is, just do it. Try to avoid, as we did it, to have over-customization. If you want to do it quickly and safely, don't try to reinvent too much. So try to use the capabilities that the platform has to offer and take the chance to even to adjust or to adapt some of your processes in order to simplify certain kind of things. Right, what we did, we started, as I said, 1 year ago with the platform, with Vortal, and it was a setup of about 3 months. We didn't make customizations. We adapted the platform to ourselves without customizations. There was, in my opinion, a very important period, which was the training to my team and the babysitting that Vortal provided to us. That gave us the confidence to make the big bang, and from a certain moment in time to specify that all the bids started to go through Vortal platform. No exception. All the bids. But the support of Vortal was critical in order to make this possible. Another thing was we did about 500,000 tenders during this period, during 1 year, about 1 year, more than 300 million euros in those tenders. And it was interesting because some of the companies that are suppliers are not coming from Portugal. Most of them actually are coming from Europe, United States, the Far East. And some of the companies were not used, some of the suppliers were not used to use the e-platforms. Namely, Chinese companies, Taiwanese companies, South Korean companies, and it was very interesting to understand how we can work with them in a very smooth and, let's say, transparent way in order that they could start to use. And the support of Vortal, the help desk and support of Vortal was quite critical in order to make these kind of things happening very smoothly, I would say. So we use the platform for bids with a value of 50,000 K up to 50 million euros. So different kind of bids. Bids for popcorn, for instance. Bids for technology suppliers. Bids for outsourcing. Bids for software. Just name it. All bids go through Vortal platform so far. So this is not just about, to be honest, savings. This is more than savings. And from a strategic perspective, we want to do, as a procurement team, more than just looking for savings. We want to do and to establish relationships, long-lasting as possible relationships with our suppliers. And for that, there is a word that I like very much, which is trust. And the e-platform, the e-procurement platform, provides an additional degree of confidence and trust to our suppliers because things are, of course, more transparent. There is also an opportunity to do in, I'm quite sure, in every company, and procurement has a specific responsibility to do that, is the processes re-engineering in many areas, from logistics to engineering to operations, commercial, just name it. Because there are a lot of hidden costs and inefficiencies within the too much complicated processes. And the procurement looking for savings is not only on the supplier side, it's also internally they have a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities to do that. And by the end of the day, if we can do that, and I'm just finishing, we increase the procurement share of influence. The respect for procurement will increase. The internal, let's say, customers or the internal areas will respect more and more procurement as a business partner. They will start to engage procurement on an early stage of the processes, many times on the phase of specifications. And this is quite important in order to manage costs and to drive savings. So, thank you so much for this 15-minute talk. This is my company. If you visit to Portugal, please use our services. Thank you.